Get your rub on with Addicted to.
Hello, everyone. Hello, Addicted to the Q world. This show is sponsored by King Louie's Meat Apostle. You can go buy his rubs if you haven't. Tonight we have Donny, Teel. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are y'all?
We're good.
Great. What's your team name?
Buffalo's BBQ.
Where are you based out of?
Sperry, Oklahoma, right on the north edge of Tulsa.
How far is that from Double Barrel and Tahlequah?
About an hour, just a hair over an hour.
So how'd you meet Nick Davis?
Just competing.
Gotcha.
Got where I harassed him a lot, so he's good to pick on.
He's a good guy.
Where'd the name Buffalo's BBQ come from?
I worked in the oil field, and a bunch of the guys that worked in the oil field called me Buffalo, and when I got started, that's what we decided we'd use.
When did you start competing?
1996.
Wow. Been a while.
Yeah, going on 27 years, so been into a couple of them.
So what has that been like over the years?
It's been fun. It's been a long ride, but I mean, it's been good. We've got to meet a lot of great people all over the years throughout the country, and the wife and I really enjoy it.
So what's the furthest you've traveled for a competition?
I've been to the King of the Smoker in California, and I've cooked in Lynchburg, Virginia, and far south is Houston, and far north is Minnesota.
Wow.
So everywhere.
Yeah, I've been to Florida a couple of times.
So what's been your biggest success in barbecue?
Everything's a success. I mean, you get out and meet people, and won a lot of big contests and won a lot of little contests, and they're all special. I mean, in their own way. So, winning the Jack was nice. Winning the Roll's nice. Won the side dishes at the Roll 8 times out of 9 years, and 6 in a row.
Wow.
We've had a good time. I mean, we won our fair share.
Nice.
So, where comes success comes failure. What was if you had to pick one failure over all your years of competing, what would it be?
I don't know if anything's a failure. I just think, if my saying is, worst day cooking beats the best day working. So
that's what I used to always say when I worked in the coal mines. Any day on the surface in training was way better than a day underground.
That's true.
So you said you've won the Royal and you've won the Jack, correct?
Yeah.
What year did you do those?
Won the Roll in 2004 and won the Jack in 2005.
Nice.
Been reserve at the Roll 3 times. So
I will say one
Roll in 2005 and 2006, and then in the Open, reserve and the Invitational, no way.
Nice. I will say one thing. My favorite quote from you is Donny smile. Do you not smile?
Don't smile much. I first started competing. There was an old man that was at a contest, and we just started, and the old man told me, he said, when you get a call, he goes, act like you've been at the stage before. And it always kind of stuck with me, and as years went by, the older man passed, and kind of always stuck with me. And so I go up there, and when I go up there, I think of him, and I don't smile.
So I was reading on Nick Davis when he was advertising for your guys' class you guys had together. Is you've had one of the highest scores in KCBS history. What was that score, and how long ago was that? And I'm just
The high score. It was I think 2000 or 2001. It was a 7-17, 14-30.
wow.
Wow.
I didn't think they gave out that high of scores back then.
Oh yeah. It I was pretty fortunate that day. I mean, a lot of people know the buddy of mine was reserve, and before we went to the awards, this was in Lincoln, Arkansas, is where it's happened at. And right before we walked in for the awards, a bird took a big old dump right on top of my head. I mean, huge. Well, the guy, my buddy's stepmom was standing beside me, and she got it too. We go in there and we go grand and reserve both. But it was a good day. I had like 177 and some change in chicken, and I had two 180s and ribs and pork, and then I had a 179 and some change in brisket. Even one People's Choice, and People's Choice not in your hometown winning it. That's the stars were
Big.
today.
Yeah.
That's insane. So who is someone that you look up to or respect in barbecue, or kind of a barbecue mentor, if you will, or
Well, the guy I always looked up to isn't with us no more. He passed away here about 2.5 years ago, and it's Paul Shoddy. Paul was always a guy that I looked up to, and he Paul had a weird way of teaching you things. When I first started cooking, I'd always take him food over, let him taste, and he goes, "Man, your flavor's great." He goes, "What are you cooking that to?" And I'd tell him. He goes, "Okay." Next week we'd be cooking again. I'd take him something. He said, "Man, that flavor's there." He goes, "What are you cooking that to?" I'd tell him. He never would tell me what temperature to take it to. But in a roundabout way, he was telling me that I wasn't cooking it hot enough because it wasn't tender enough.
Yeah.
And after I'd been around the loop a time or two and started winning, I said he was telling me what to do without coming out and telling me what to do.
he was saying, when he said the flavor's good, he was saying it tastes good, but you're not there yet.
Yep. I mean, being a newbie, you just took it, and then finally, once I started figuring it out, I thought, well, he was telling me what to do. He just wasn't coming out and spilling his guts, telling me what to do. So,
Yeah.
Paul, yeah. And if
What
you
was
don't,
his team name?
he cooked for Head Country. He was called Head Country too, and Paul won the role and the Jack also. So
Nice.
Paul's a good guy, a really good cook. So,
That Royal and Jack is a very elusive club, isn't it?
yep, that's it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's a neat deal. You win the role, and there's they got their little ways of doing things, and you win the Jack, and then it's just people calling you all the time, wanting to do interviews, and and I'm sure it's even more now with the social media than it was in 05 when I won it. But I mean, I did a lot of radio shows and stuff like that after that. But it's a pretty neat deal. So
So how has barbecue changed from when you first started competing to now?
of course, now there's a lot more bigger rigs. When I competed, it was a lot of 10 easy ups. When I mean tents, it was 10. Back then, we had to put them together. I mean, using electrical pipe, and they were called shelter systems. And of course, the meats changed. I mean, back then, I mean, if you was finding a prime brisket, you was doing something. And in the 90s and early 2000s, and everybody knows how that's changed with the Wagyu and the rock stuff, and we went through the Berkshire deal, and so a lot of things has come full circle. I mean, a lot of guys will think they come up with a new presentation, and it's something that's been done. It's just things they go by the wayside. They quit winning, and people get away from them, and next thing you know, that's the new hot item again. So
Yeah, just
My
a trend is what it
buddy,
is.
yeah,
yes, my buddy,
everybody
my buddy Eric Burkhart
the
said,
the big deal, and back in our day, we called it fat cat meat. And we used to turn it in all the time, and then it went away, and then people say, "Oh, we're turning in bacon." It's the same thing we just turning in, and it all comes out of the fat cap, and just different verbiage of what you want to call it. So.
Yep.
that's what my buddy Eric said. He said when he started in 06, if you had a flatbed trailer you hauled your stuff on, you were doing something.
Yeah,
He said they didn't
I
have the
cooked on
cargo they have
for a
now.
long time. I went to an Oklahoma Joe, and I drug a 24-inch two-door Oklahoma Joe around for years, and put close to 200,000 miles on that thing, and put a new axle under it, and did a cooking class, and a guy seemed that he wanted it worse than I did, and I bought it, and ended up after that it went to a Jambo, so been on a Jambo ever since.
You do any catering or
Yeah,
food trailer stuff?
Yeah, I have a food trailer. I tell a lot of people I was food trucking when food trucking wasn't cool. I've been serving out of a food truck since '07. So I don't have any employees. It's just me. So I do all the cooking and all the meat getting and, inventory and
Yeah.
answering the phone, making the orders, taking the money. So it keeps me busy.
Yep. Nice. We have a friend up in Iowa. He just told us today his wife calls him barbecue carny. I'm
Right.
like, as in carnival? He goes, that's what it is now when we're hauling a trailer around every weekend just to sell food.
I've been in the same place for it'll be 16 years this October. So, and
Yeah.
I
Are you?
always said I want to be a destination, not a convenience.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. That way everyone knows where you're at and you're not having to travel everywhere.
yeah, I'm there. I only cook so much a day. When it's gone, it's gone. Yesterday
Yeah.
we was there by 30, and today it was gone by 1:30. So,
Hey, nice. Nice.
so
Is that in your hometown or is that down in Tulsa?
that's my hometown.
Okay.
Right
You
here.
said
Yeah.
about an hour from Tulsa?
No, I'm 15 minutes from downtown Tulsa.
Oh, okay, perfect. I drive through it quite a bit, so next time I do, I'm gonna try to swing by and take a stop there.
Yeah, come by. Come early. The variety's a lot better early than it is later.
Yeah. Oh, we're usually there around lunchtime. Every time we roll down towards Texas, we go one way or the other, Oklahoma City or Tulsa, just to.
Stuff and had ribs until the very last minute yesterday, and today I was out of ribs in 15 minutes. I mean,
It's crazy.
Whatever you guess is wrong.
Yeah.
Everybody goes, how do you know how much to cook? I said, if I knew that, I'd know what lottery numbers to pick, and I wouldn't be here. So,
Yep.
but anyway.
You there, Brad? Can you hear us, Brad?
I can see him, but
Brad. I don't know. Think he does sign language?
I don't know. Hey, Brad.
Brad, look at us. Hey. All right. So, what kind of smokers have you had in the past?
Everything I've cooked on is offsets pretty much. I've cooked on some cans, and I also have the new Hasty Baker Roughneck on the back of my trailer now with a Jambo. So I've been using them, and I'm mainly an offset guy.
Now, do you still do a lot of comps, or have you dwindled that down quite a bit?
I don't do as many as I used to, which, as you know, a lot of the tests have kind of went by the wayside. And I try to cook ones in Oklahoma, branch out to a few others, but the store keeps me pretty busy. Sometimes it's hard to justify that we closed on a Friday, and like I said, no employees. So if I'm closed, I'm taking a major hit. As far as for the day, time I pay for a contest, eat, and then losing out on a day business.
I think I'm back finally after all kinds of technical difficulties.
We got you now.
I switched back to my other phone, so maybe my work phone service wasn't as good. I don't know. Well, glad you guys carry on. Yeah, I didn't realize you had a restaurant business until I was following your social media today.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been there 16 years this October.
Yeah.
Wow. So you do barbecue full time?
Pretty much. And that's hard to do. I mean, when I first started, there's a buddy of mine that had a restaurant north of me, and he told me, he said, it'll wear on you. And I thought, yeah. And a lot of years went by, and I'd still do both. And but the older I get, it's harder to do. I mean, time I work up there and then try to do contests, and so I've changed up a lot of things as how I do things as far as doing meat. And I try to do everything on Sunday to get it out of the way, and that way during the week before a contest, I can come home and actually be a normal person and not be doing something barbecue all the time. So makes things a lot easier. Plus, it helps with my attitude a lot.
That's what I always say. If I did more than a lot of contests, it's just that whole week before is just so much work every week. If I did 40 contests a year, every week, week in, week out.
Now, there's a lot of years there. I did 48 a year for several years, and then cut back to down around the mid to lower 40s. Did 42 for a bunch of years, and and back then, I didn't have a porch trailer. It was just a pit and an easy up and a pickup. And if the weather was good, I never put the easy up because the more I put up, the more I had to take down. I'd never unhooked my pit. And Tuffy Stone can tell you the first time he ever met me, I cut everything on the tailgate and was done, and he just couldn't believe it. He goes, "How do you work like this?" I said, "I don't like dragging stuff out because if I drag it out, I got to put it up all by myself. I get done with, I put stuff up, and I was sitting in the truck 5 minutes after brisket turned in with the, depending what time of the year it was, the air conditioner or the heater running, and the seat leaned back, and set my alarm, take a nap, and wake up full of awards, and go to the awards and drive home." So,
it's one way to do it. The cleanup's the part I hate.
I never, that was back before throwaway cutting boards, and I'd wash the cutting board off and have one little table with a blue water can on it, and turn my pickup to the right, and that way my tailgate would be on the same size as my doors on my pit. Drag 2 ice chests beside me and lay my cutting board down, and ice chest in front of me, build my boxes, and get done. Just push the ice chest back up, put the lid back on the water can, and fold up one table, and I was ready to roll.
Nice.
Definitely. So where'd you sleep at the night before then? In your truck?
Yeah, I just leaned the seat back. Done that for lots of years.
Mm-hmm.
That is definitely a minimal way of doing it.
Yeah, it's harder nowadays. We did that a few years back over in Mississippi, and the wife says, I'm getting too old to sleep in the back seat of the truck. And I said, I think I'm getting too old to sleep in the front seat of the truck. So, but after that many years of contest, it'll wear on you.
Well, I only did it for 6, and I said I'm too old to sleep in the truck.
Yeah.
We're looking at an outdoorsy RV for the Invitational. My wife, me and my son rough it. If my wife and daughter's coming, they're not going to rough it. It's not happening.
Right.
She said it's August. I want an AC and I want a bed to sleep in. That's not a lawn chair.
Yeah. So
I was like, yeah. So my next question, how has barbecue changed your life? I know you've been nominated for the Barbecue Hall of Fame a few times. And did you start your restaurant or your business after with your win at the Royal, I'm guessing?
Yeah, because I won the Royal in 04. I didn't start the restaurant until 07. I was in the electrical business before that. And things got slow, and I always wanted to do it, so I took the jump and did it. There's some days you think, why'd I do this? And there's other days this ain't so bad after all. I mean, just like any other job, you have your good days and your bad days.
Yeah.
So
some days I think it'd be good to work for yourself, but then other days I think, a corporate job is a steady paycheck, whether you don't have to worry about making money every day.
Well, that anymore, the benefits are worth a ton as far as, especially insurance, when you got to pay for it. People don't realize that, but that insurance is expensive. So
yeah.
Yes, it is. So, do you have any sponsors, or do you just cook on your own, or?
The Kansas City barbecue stores helps me quite a bit. Jeff and Joy and Dan and all the people at the barbecue store have been really good to me. David with Butcher Barbecue, he's helped me out a lot as far as products and stuff.
Yep.
And David's helped me pretty much since he started doing that. Jeff and Joy's helped me at the barbecue store, and Tim and Terry at Blues Hogs always took care of me with charcoal and stuff like that. So people like that are always good to have around in your corner.
Yeah. So what do you think of Bill Arnold finally getting into the Hall of Fame?
Well deserved. Bill was a good guy. Me and Bill
Mm-hmm.
were good. And Bill brought a lot of stuff to me. When he was trying stuff years ago, and asked me my opinion. And so there's a couple that he brought me that nobody's ever put out, and I still got one bottle of stuff that he gave me that I don't know how many people's ever got, but I still got one bottle of that.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, I couldn't believe he didn't get in 2 years ago, but that's just my personal opinion. But
yeah, there's a lot of people that need in there. I mean, Bill's one. There's several on my list, which I've been around forever. So there's a bunch of people that I think's deserving to get in as well. But it's an honor just to get nominated.
Oh yeah.
Get in. So it's I've been lucky enough to be on there the last 2 years. So anyway.
So how does that work? Do they call you and tell you you've been nominated, or how do they?
Well, you're not. People write letters, and you don't know who's wrote letters or who hasn't. And I, when I first got in, the first year got on the semifinal list. I didn't know that. I don't know who wrote the letters and still don't. But they call you and say that you're a semifinalist, and then they tell you in 2 weeks that they will announce who's going in. And but we don't know anything. You know, they don't call us and say, yeah, we're in, or no, we're not. Well, they may call you if you're in. I don't know that yet because I'm not in, but
Yep.
they don't call you and tell you you're not in, so you got to sit and watch it just like anybody else.
So, so what made you and Nick Davis decide to do a barbecue class together?
Nick asked me if I wanted to do one, and I usually do one a year, and he said that he would do a couple categories, and I'd do a couple, and I said that's fine. And so he done the porks, and I did the chicken and the brisket. And it was good. I mean, Nick did a lot of the leg work and stuff because it was in his town, and but we had a good time, had a good class. So
I saw some pictures from it.
oh
Yeah.
So what do you cook on now at competitions?
I have a backyard jambo on a porch trailer and a bake roughneck. It's mounted on the back, which is their version of a drum, and
Nice.
that's what I have.
Have you always had? No, you said you used to have Oklahoma Joe.
Yeah, I got a J3 Jambo that I've drug around for years. Also, I keep in storage. The big nice paint job. So
Don't want to mess it up.
it's been drug a lot. I mean, it's 16 years old, so it's been around the block once or twice. Because I've always
got its fair share of bug splatter. It's got its fair share of bug splatter.
Oh yeah, but I got a grass skirt on the back, keeps the rock chips off, and I mean it's been to California and everywhere else.
So if you had to go somewhere and eat somebody else's barbecue, what is your favorite barbecue restaurant?
I'd have to say mine, but I mean after that, I don't know. Everybody's got their thing. I like going to Darren's and with Smoky D's.
Mm-hmm.
And Darren will tell you if I come in, he knows what I'm going to get. It's going to be ribs and mac and cheese. I'm a rib guy. If I go somewhere, I like ribs.
Yep, me too.
I've been to several good places, and I've been to some not so good, but they. I mean, if I'm in Kansas City, I'll go to Kansas City Joe's and Q39. Those are usually my spots. I haven't been to Joe's yet. It slaps. I need to go by there and try Joe's out, but I've never been there yet. So
for me, the mac and cheese has to be just as good as the barbecue for me to eat there.
Yeah, Darren does a good job on the mac and cheese in Des Moines.
Trying to think if we had any other questions for him, Brian. Did you?
I didn't. What kind of sides do you like when you turn them in at competitions? Do you fare more potato side or do you fare more like a mac side?
At a contest?
Yeah. I'm not gonna. I mean, I'm not trying to pick out like your number one that you turn in, but if you were gonna judge, let's go that route. What do you like more?
I like everything. If you like barbecue, you're gonna like it all.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're at the roll, it's it's got to be beans, vegetables, and potatoes. But we got where we don't hardly do the sides anymore. We ain't done them in several years. And
Yeah.
the older you get, it's harder to do. Trying to do all them turn-ins and all that extra stuff.
Yeah, I've stopped a lot of that. I'm thinking about getting back into sides, but right now I'm like, I'd rather focus on my cheesecakes, get those going better.
Right. Yeah, the cheesecake deal. That's pretty much what you got to turn in to even have a chance. And I like to know how many people actually make them, but that's just me.
Yeah.
I know I make them because I actually make my own strawberry syrup at home to go with it. So it's interesting when I started it, but I've got that one down. I've got a new idea for one, but I
took
don't
it
know how it's going to go over.
years ago from a lady in Tulsa and she taught cheesecakes. So I went to her class. I grilled her pretty hard about stuff and me trying to cook a cheesecake on a pit. And she gave me a lot of good ideas, and I tried them, and they really worked well. So,
Mm-hmm.
and but the water's a huge deal in a pit, so keeping them from cracking.
Yep.
Are you cooking Mayetta this year, the World Invitational? Are you cooking that in August?
No, not going. Wrong time of the year. It's too hot.
It's going to be miserable.
And if they piggyback everybody in there like they did at the other one in the fall, I see nothing but electrical problems. But that's just me.
That might be fun in August.
Yeah. Everybody told me they was going. I said I'd make sure I had me a generator and some gas cans.
Yep, I'm going to bring a generator just in case.
They piggyback everybody in two teams in one RV spot. One guy's got 2 or 3 air conditioners, another guy's got 1 or 2, and I'd
Mm-hmm.
be willing to bet those aren't pulled home runs transformer to each pedestal. I bet they're daisy chained at least once or twice. So you figure you got 8 or 9 air conditioners running off one set of wires in the middle of August.
Yep.
Possibly go wrong.
I was bringing my generator just in case.
I am too.
For KCBS's sake, but boy, you're asking for a lot. I mean, there's very few RV parks I bet are pulled home runs from the transformer to each pedestal.
Yeah.
I judged it in 2020 when it was there, but I don't remember what it looked like.
So I cooked it back when they had the contest there and all that before they had the KCBS. I used to cook it every year, but back then it was just one RV per pad, so you didn't have to worry about a whole bunch of air conditioners on. But if they get a bunch of teams and start putting 2 and 3 teams in one spot, I don't know. I just for Rod and everybody at the office, I hope they don't have problems. But I don't know.
Well, we will find out.
Yep.
So, Brian, do you have anything else?
Nope, I'm good.
I think we are. Well, thanks for coming on tonight. Enjoy your cooking tomorrow.
Oh, I will. I appreciate it.
Thank you for
thanks
for coming on.
Next time I head down to Texas and we swing by through Tulsa area, I'll stop by your place, grab some lunch.
Yep, come by and see me. Be glad to.
Definitely.
Well,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
You too.
You too.